Hi, class. Well, if you looked outside today, a little bit scary, isn't it? Looking very ominous outside. Hopefully, everything clears up in the next couple of days. But a big positive is how well you guys have been doing in this class. I've been real impressed, especially with the work that you're putting into the discussions, both the amount that you're sharing, and you're all doing such a good job of responding to each other's discussion prompts. Really pleased with that. You guys are really doing a good job. Very encouraging, very supportive. That's exactly what we want. We're really developing a nice, comfortable audience for our speeches, and first graded speech right around the corner, just a couple weeks away. But I do want to clear up some of the confusion on the assignment that was due yesterday. That's the audience analysis assignment that you are to turn in. And so just to make sure we're clear, I also put an announcement on Canvas. You are doing the audience analysis on the class, not on you. Look, if you look at the module, which is focusing on audience analysis, and you look at the title, right, of the discussion, that you are focusing on who are we, not who am I. So it's not about you telling yourself about you. You know that information. And unless you're going to go in the closet and give the speech to yourself, you aren't the audience. You're the speaker. So what you want to do is to be able to put together a demographic audience analysis so you have a good idea of who it is that you're speaking to. And so what you're doing on that assignment, you each are creating your own audience analysis of the class following the demographics that are listed. You're submitting that on the discussion page. And then I want you discussing among each other so that you can really come together and put together a pretty good audience analysis so you know exactly who you're speaking to, right? The class is your audience for the semester. The more we know about the class, the easier it is to come up with topics that will relate to the class. And that kind of takes us right into the next assignment that's due tomorrow. That's the assignment on brainstorming. And that really is a pretty easy assignment. You just want to come up with 10 possible topics for a speech. But I will tell you, and we'll get into this a little bit later in the next couple of weeks when we get into speech preparation, but when you're thinking about a topic for a speech, you're always going to consider three factors. You want a topic that you like, you want a topic that your audience likes and will be interested in, the audience will find significant and relevant. Again, that's why we do the audience analysis. And the third component of a good topic, especially if you're giving a presentation in the college classroom, you want to make sure that you find a topic that's easy to research, that the information is accessible. So always think about that. When you come up with a topic, you want to make sure that when you start doing research, you'll be able to find published information on the particular topic. And then another side note, you also want to make sure that your topics are narrow enough so that you can fully cover them in the time allotted for the speech. But also you want to make sure your topics are narrow so it's easier to research. For example, let's say that you're really into cars. So I want to do a speech on cars. Well, if you went to do some research and typed in cars, you would have so many hits, it would be hard to get started. So you want to make sure that your topic is always narrow enough so that you could find information. So maybe rather than doing a speech on cars, it might be that you end up doing a speech on the Ford Mustang. Now, when I type in Ford Mustang, do a word search, I can find research specific to that make and model of the car. So when it comes to brainstorming for topics, you just want to get a list of 10 topics that can work as a topic for a speech. But along with that, you always want to consider, I want a topic that I like. I want a topic that I think the audience will relate to. They'll enjoy that particular topic. And I also want to be able to find information. So I want to find a topic where the research is easily accessible. So that's the brainstorming assignment that's due tomorrow. Get that in next week. We're going to turn our attention to delivery. All right. Now, what are the do's and don'ts when it comes to presenting a speech? And we really have more to cover now, because now that we're doing it online, we're kind of moving away from the traditional delivery style. I stand up in front of the audience to now I have a lot more freedom. I can really be creative. I can stand, I can sit, I can create the environment, control the environment a little bit more. So a lot more goes into being able to deliver a speech if you're doing it online. And some of you may have noticed, you may have got this comment several times on the stuff that you've already turned in. You have a very personable conversational delivery style. And what that means is you're talking to the audience just like you're talking to a group of friends. And I think that delivery style is even more prominent now that we're doing stuff online. We want to really be able to relate and engage the audience, even though the audience isn't present when we're giving the actual presentation. So we'll focus on delivery next week. Then we'll get into how to organize and structure speeches. And then we'll get into your first speech assignment. That's a couple weeks away. That's going to be what we call a critic speech. And essentially, I think you'll like this speech. It's a 3 to 5 minute speech, and it can be on anything that can be viewed as a form of entertainment. So a lot of you in your discussions have mentioned how much you've been watching on Netflix. Cool. Take a show on Netflix. You could do your critic speech on that. You could do it on a movie, even though a lot of us aren't going out to restaurants right now during COVID, but you could do a speech on a restaurant. So anything that's considered a form of entertainment, it could be on a CD, it could be on a video game. So anything that you would go out and pay money for as a form of entertainment can work as a topic for the critic speech. Still a couple weeks away, but at least you can start thinking about possible topics for that particular speech. All right? So I'm real pleased with you guys. Most of you are getting your work in. Some of you a little late start. Let's make sure that we catch up. I haven't put any dates on any of the assignments except for the introductory video, so you can still turn stuff in. For those of you that on the audience analysis discussion from yesterday, if you did that incorrectly, only focused on yourself, cool, that's still open. You can go in and resubmit, do an audience analysis on your audience, which would be the class. And so that's why you can go back and watch the introductory videos. That's going to give you information about each of the members of your audience in this particular class. All right, you guys, stay safe, stay well. Hopefully it clears up in the next couple of days. It doesn't look so scary outside. You guys keep working hard. And remember, if any questions at all, and I've had a few of you say, I'm sorry, this is a dumb question. Look, no question is dumb, right? That means you don't understand something, right? Make sure you check with me. I'm here to help. But I'll tell you this, read the content in the modules, right? That's going to make it a lot easier. When you get to the assignments, you'll do the assignments correctly if you have the information and the context of the information leading into those assignments. Don't cut corners. A lot of you set in your goals. You really want to improve as a public speaker? Cool. Do the work. That's how you improve. All right, you guys. We'll see you next week. We out.